From Pleb Lab in Austin, Texas, this is Stacker News Live!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. My name's Carl with my BFF, Keon.
Wow.
Keon. How you doing, Keon?
Is this a children's show?
We got to stand out. Everybody and their mama streaming right now on the internet. We
that's-
started a trend, Keon. We were the first podcast to stream on Friday afternoons.
We're the only Bitcoin podcast out there. I don't know why anyone else hasn't.
Oh, wow. So you're calling them out. You're saying there's no more Bitcoin podcasts except for Stacker News Live?
Well, I just don't
Is
know
that
why
what you're
anyone's not doing a Bitcoin podcast.
wow.
There's only us. I mean,
So you're saying Bitcoin, the other Bitcoins podcasts that are going on right now are not Bitcoin podcasts?
No, I'm saying they don't exist. I was making a joke about how many Bitcoin podcasts there actually are.
Okay.
But yeah, that's true as well.
Step back.
What are they talking about? They're probably talking about.
Making so many friends right now. This is why. Anyways, yeah, lots going on in the Bitcoin world. As you know, the halvings. What, in 3 hours? Is that where it's at?
No,
Has anybody checked it?
If you
yet?
click if you go to your Stacker News and you click on the top price thing, we have a countdown on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, click, bam.
Oh, wow! Look at that. Can you believe it?
That's
Stackers,
right.
Can you believe it?
So it's going to happen here in 2 hours after
Wow.
this is over.
Gosh, it's gonna be a busy time. What? How was your week?
How was my week? My week was great. It was pretty normal, I think. I don't think anything strange happened. The halving feels weird.
Why does it feel weird?
I've never consciously paid attention to the halving before. I don't know if around 2020 last year you were sitting watching a countdown toward it.
I was watching the Tone Vase thing.
Wow.
Because I watch it. I watched it in 20. I want to say I saw it in 2016. I want to say, if that's when the first one was, when he did like all the Zoom stuff, and then I definitely saw it again in 2020 when Tone did that. Just because I think he does it the best, you know. And then now I think he started the trend because everybody's doing it now.
Yeah, I was not paying attention to it. So you were much more of a Bitcoiner than I was in 2020.
Well, I was just a pleb, right? I was just a pleb on the sidelines watching all this stuff. Plus, I was in the crypto space, so it was a little bit different, you know.
Yeah, you were trying to see what it would do to Shiba Inu coin.
No, because Tone was at that time he was like the gateway to, at least on YouTube that I saw, to like Bitcoiners. He was like the gateway for me because he would talk about the trading stuff, and then
right. I met
all
him
the stuff that we don't
once.
pay attention to now, basically.
I see. Yeah, we've learned. I see. You're still on the price side of Bitcoin.
Yeah, all I cared was price, you know.
Yeah. Now you care.
Now I'm on a
80%
crusade.
about.
Now I'm on a
you're
crusade.
okay.
I'm just kidding. That's another joke from this week. No, I feel like now it's just more mission focused than ever, you know, and it just gets more mission focused as the weeks and the months go on. It's a hard hill to come off of once you start down this hill, or once you go up this hill, I should say.
You always say that. You always make it sound so.
It's inevitable. You kind of. I think for anybody that really wants to build something great, you got to be willing to eat dirt. Right?
Eat dirt. That is the old Pleb Lab saying.
There you go.
Eat dirt.
So you said your week was good.
It was good. How was your week?
It was good. We flew back from the UK.
Oh, that's right.
The UK. And then now we're, ton of messages and emails. Like, you'd be surprised, like, you know, going overseas, how much you actually do miss.
Mhm.
And then, so a lot of meetings, a lot of stuff to catch up on. And then today was the first day I actually felt like I was playing offense again. So it feels pretty good playing offense, Keon.
Oh yeah, I think you're made for offense, right? That's
Hey,
your
man.
normal position.
I don't mind running the ball, but when I throw, I like to throw deep, you know?
That's true.
Go
That's
big.
what
Go
everyone
bigger.
says about you. Whenever I'm like, they're like, hey, do you know Carr? And I'm like, yeah.
He
like,
likes to,
he likes to throw deep.
I mean, if you got the receivers to do it, I mean, you just chuck it deep, you know? That's what I say.
That is what you say. You always say that now and all the other times you say things.
But yeah, it's been a good week. We have a lot of visitors for Bitcoin Plus Plus coming in. Great bit devs last night.
We do.
Yeah, it's good times.
We do have a bunch of cool people.
Cool. If you've never seen Stacker News before, this is the front page of Bitcoin. What you see right there, I don't get. We cover the top 5 stories every week, but I don't cover this stuff. I mean, I do cover it, but Keon votes for this stuff. I really don't vote for this stuff. I click on some stuff and then, you know, I zap it and all those things. But like,
apparently, Carr's been in the UK for too long, and apparently Stacker News is not a thing in the UK.
it's not a thing in the UK, Stackers. I'm sorry. Prove me wrong. It's an American thing.
I mean, you're upsetting anyone with an English accent who's on Stacker News. So
Hey, I mean, I'm sorry. It's just the truth. I mean, maybe they should do a proper pub instead of a saloon every day.
proper pub. That's what we need. We need some
Proper.
baked beans.
Yeah, it's a big dude. The breakfast actually is really good. in the
Yeah.
UK. It's like really good.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to cover the top 5 stories. The first top story is some thoughts on success. This is from Elvis Mercury, April 13th, mostly harmless territory. 44 comments, 20,000 sets, baby. Boo. What is this, Keon?
Yeah. Well, Elvis is kind of known for these posts that really, I think, start to bring together several separate, big ideas. And in this case, he's talking about what makes someone very successful, and like what contribution of that is talent, and then what contribution is effort, and then bringing that together with some other psychological research on the things that people become very good at. And the one that he referenced in there was from a researcher. I think the primary author of the paper was O'Keefe, who said that people tend to have a lot of energy towards things that they've already made progress on. And so something they've already spent a lot of time on and gotten better at, they'll usually just double down on it. And, so it's just, some very broad, but like big ideas in this area of like, how do people get good at things, and what is their path toward being like a notable person in terms of their output or value created in a field. And it's a topic that a lot of us try to answer, I think, for ourselves, if you're like conscious of these things and not just in the rat race. And so I think good things to bring up, and a lot of people had a lot of opinions on it. And
This is something that we talk about in the lab. I know me and Jim always talk about it every day, at least, about this. And I subscribe to the 10,000 hour rule, and then the going for perfection, but always missing it, but still going for it every time. I don't know what you call that.
Yeah, I would say that's within the realm of these ideas. I think that one of the bigger questions he asked in here is whether, or one of the more clear questions that he asked in here was whether you're the kind of person who does more of what they're already good at, like doubling down on the thing they're already good at, or you're the kind of person who tries to get better at your weaknesses. And yeah, I think that's a question that everyone can answer. Do you have an answer to that?
Yeah, I don't do that. Like especially if you already spent most of your life already on this one, doesn't mean that you can't learn these things and you shouldn't be learning them. I just think that you're better. It's like if Rick Rubin went and said, I'm not going to produce. I've been doing it for 30 years or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and like start rapping or something. You know what I mean? It's different if you're like somebody like who's just multi-talented, who can do multiple things. And I think that's a rare bird.
Yeah.
But,
I think that's the struggle here that he's describing, is that he is good. He feels like he's good at anything he does. And the hard part is actually selecting which thing. And so, and so you're saying you're more like one. I feel like you do one thing really well.
Like, or you saw me last week, right? I was coding, or not coding, but I was like trying to figure out how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I can stumble through it and I'm going to finish it and all this stuff. But is it actually going to be great? Probably not. There's going to be tons of problems with it. Mm-hmm. But it's a proof of concept, right? I'm creating for a proof of concept. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, am I best fit to start learning how to code now? Should I have? No, right? But should I have it in my tool set? Yes, I think anybody who's in Bitcoin should have that tool set, right? Because just where we're headed, it's just good for baseline understanding. Let's read the top comment. Top comment says, "Wow, this is both a hell of a piece to think about and one that's linked to a couple more. I literally zapped after reading the Stalker piece. Never heard of him either. Like you, I'm not currently swept up, and I range from wanting to be to wanting not to have to be. I'm very good at my job in general, but it's not the sort of thing that leads to feedback cycle Munger and O'Keefe talk about." Yeah, that sounds about right. Got Voldemort. He says, "My problem is that I'm passionate about learning. In grad school, I was obsessed with math. Spent every waking hour thinking about it. Often woke up in the middle of the night." Yeah, see, like those guys. Like, did you ever see like Hal Finney? So Hal Finney was like, he was kind of like that, where he would be obsessed with something for like continue, like he was continuously obsessed, and then he would go and spend like days not sleeping trying to do these things. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same thing that what do you call it? Talking about right there. What about you, Keon? How do you learn?
Oh, I'm probably more so the one type of thing at a time type of person. And I like getting better at my strengths generally, while accepting that I have to get better at my weaknesses as well. But yeah, Elvis and I went back and forth in the comments here quite a bit, because I have some opinions on the related topics here, like what if someone is looking to become is looking for success. I have certain ideas around that, and we like get into that, and our opinions on that differ. But that's the underlying question: is how do you get successful? What is the
I think the
path?
first step is just to be willing to accept feedback and criticism. That's like numero uno. Because if you can't take that, like you're really not willing to grow. And I used to struggle with that. That's why I know it's that, and then just being patient and like really thinking through things. We talk about this all the time, but that's why it's so important to be around other builders.
Well, let's assume you have both those. Assume you have,
both those things.
Let's assume you do all the things that like
not everybody has that. It's very rare.
No, but let's assume you do.
This guy does right there.
But let's assume guy does. Let's assume you're capable of all those things.
These guys do.
And now, how do you pick what to actually pursue? Once you have all of those micro skills that are needed to succeed, how do you pick the thing that you're going to now tackle in life?
It's whatever your purpose is, man. It's whatever you want to do.
But where does that? How do you decide what your purpose is?
I talk to God and He tells me what to do. So I'm crazy. I don't know. I don't know how regular people do it. I'm not even joking when I say that. I don't know. I don't know how other people do it. I know everything started clicking when I started talking to God and asking Him what to do. So yeah, I think people have a different way. Some people can pull it out from the zeitgeist and stuff. I'm just a little more lunatic.
Yeah. I mean, I think I think that's whether you're actually talking to God, or
I am actually talking to God.
Yeah, or you're. I mean, I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying, like someone who might have a different God they believe in, or they have a different set of beliefs. I think there is like something to
me and Super
letting it come through.
Me and Super used to talk about this all the time. It's like when you look at Michelangelo and like all these amazing painters and like how they did these things in the Sistine Chapel and like how that was created. How do you think that was? Like, you think he was able to lean on his back and like this is like with a rope and like all these things like that must have took some type of willpower that's otherworldly, I think, out of this world. And that's when I look at those things. It's like that's the kind of discipline that you need. And I don't know how else you can get that kind of discipline without the hand of God helping you. If that makes any sense? Well,
I think it does make sense. I think I would guess there are people who have much better willpower than you or I who don't have this,
like Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, who maybe don't have a relationship with God. And so
yeah, I don't know. I would love stackers. Drop it in the comments. Austin, what do you think? Here comes Austin, Mr. Pleb Dev. He has something.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm itching to throw in my.
I thought you said you were edgy.
that too. Having coming soon.
Yeah.
Well, I just read this post like literally 20 minutes ago, so my thoughts are kind of fresh. And I think it's interesting. Like, do you focus on your strengths? Do you focus on your weaknesses? And an idea that I've always taken from someone is the idea of skill stacking. So maybe I'm an okay developer, and maybe I'm a pretty good communicator. But if I stack those skills together, all of a sudden I'm one of the best in the world at being both a developer and a communicator. But then that still leaves the open question of what you're talking about, Keon, of like, what do you do? What is your purpose? That's the question that no one can answer, but you can find an edge by combining your strengths and then maybe fixing one weakness. Like for me, a weakness has been like media and social media and stuff. And that's something I'm working on to like get more reach. But at the same time, I'm still leaning in my strengths. So that's how I think about it.
Yeah.
What's up, stackers?
Yeah, I think that's really helpful. Thank you. Later, stackers.
I don't know, Keon. What do you think? I think Austin's right on that. I think the only thing I would add would probably be the after he says that, then it makes it really obvious. Like, what are we on this planet for, right? Is it to help each other? Is it really to move the needle forward? Is it to get us off world? Like, what is the goal? right? For the human race. That's what it comes down to. If that's how you think through things. I like to think through things like what is it good? Is it good for the ecosystem? What I'm doing? Like, am I making contributions to the ecosystem for Bitcoin? Am I pushing it forward towards hyper Bitcoinization? That's how I look at things in my career, I guess. Do you want to call this a career?
I don't really think about it that way so much, but I do. I mostly think of it. I pay attention to like the way I feel about things, and I do want at minimum to surface ideas that are maybe new in Bitcoin, so that maybe Bitcoin can be used more. I don't actually think I'm contributing to hyper Bitcoinization by doing that. Maybe I am indirectly, but that's like not what I'm focusing on. I'm mostly like, how do I see Bitcoin differently than other people, and how can I like expose that and get people to be exposed to it themselves? That's what I think about with regard to Bitcoin. But this question is really big. It's really hard. I've met so many people who have quite an issue with this question, specifically around purpose. You know, like the procedure of getting good at something, I think is, I think a lot has been said about that. It's pretty good. But I think as far as like finding that like life's task, as Robert Greene calls it, can be very tricky for certain kinds of people, specifically people who have really high expectations.
Yeah, I just that's never crossed my mind. Like purpose. I mean, I feel like I have a purpose and stuff, and I am doing it, like what I just said about. But that's never been like a midlife crisis thing or anything,
Yeah. I think
interesting.
I think it's something worth thinking about.
Cool. That was a great post. Keep them coming, Elvis. The next top story is, where were you last having? This is from Siggy47, April 18th, Bitcoin territory, 54 comments, 3,391 cents, baby boy.
Yeah, you and I are talking about this a little bit at the beginning of the pod.
This is everybody in the front of Club Lab right now. And this is, I don't know.
Who's the one actually partying?
Everybody in the front's partying.
Oh, everyone in the front's partying. Is this us right now? Because we're the ones with the confetti on our heads?
I don't know who that is.
Well, it's supposed to be Darth. That's what Darth was like last time. He's just been through so many of them.
He's poking the bear, Darth.
He posted this photo.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, this is his post. He said that was him.
Oh, that's his? Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. That's funny.
Well, he's like, I've been in Bitcoin since before Bitcoin existed. So I've experienced every
one. Look, Swan's starting to having one. We got
is that Swan or Tether? Oh, do we know? Is that, I'm just making a joke. Because like apparently a thing that Swan was funded by Tether or something. That's what like a rumor is. I don't know that. This is my old car. I was talking about squared cars. But
wait, is this your car?
The week of the halving, I sold my 1984 Jetta.
That's a nice car, man.
It's sick, right? I loved it. It had 60,000 miles on it. That's
Ladybug?
I was working in my backyard with a ladybug. And this is me and my science bros. We went out for a kayaking.
You know how to kayak?
Well, it's not like a thing you need to learn how to do. You can
flip over.
You sit but no one really flips over. I did lose my glasses that weekend in the kayak because I got tipped over. But it's not like you die. It's just you hop back in.
I don't know. It looks like that's where Darth was. Where was Siggy47 says, I like that video. I feel like that guy a lot. Don't really. Nim said, I was consumed dealing with COVID also and didn't even notice the BTC dip at the time. When was it? Was in 2020 though, but like, was it?
It was summer. May? It was summer. Yeah, May of 2020.
Where was I? I was probably still working my job or about to leave it. I'd imagine. I don't remember. It just depends on what the actual date was.
You didn't leave your job yet, right?
2020. No, yeah, 21. It was 21 I left. No, this was in 2020. Where was I? I don't know. To be honest, I think I was just living, bro.
Bro, you gotta live.
That's a good post. The next top story is introducing Lightning payouts. Brains pool in production. Parentheses. Wait. Out of beta? Wait, this is a confusing heading.
Yeah, they had a beta where you could get your mining payout, your share paid out via Lightning, and now it's in production. So meaning everyone has access to it that's
Wumbo.
using brains.
Wumbo. Let's get the titles correct here. I don't know what that reads.
Dude, Wumbo's your guy.
I love Wumbo. He does all the show notes every week, but this title's confusing. Anyway, it's from Wumbo. 30 comments. 4,641.
Yeah, you can put your Lightning address in your brains software, and it'll pay out. You set a threshold, I think, of how much.
Oh, dope.
And then you'll get paid out immediately if it meets the threshold.
That's super dope.
Yeah, so they have no minimums, and you can just
Look at all the languages they support now.
Get paid. Yeah, mining's everywhere. I mean, in the video, they have a UK accent actor guy. So they have a Having blog. Oh yeah, I forgot about that meme. That was a big meme, I feel like, last Having.
Oh wow, look at this. Look at this chart.
That's probably mining difficulty or what?
I think it says having price, hash price versus difficulty.
Oh.
Dude, the more longer I stay at Bitcoin, the more fascinated I am with all the mining stuff. Maybe this is just
some of the more interesting, I think, software wise, just because it requires, it's like so important that the incentives are right.
Yeah.
And you're like coordinating everything right.
Yeah. Cool. The top comment was from Nim. He says, finally, this will be helpful for folks just trying out Wrigley.io mining. Okay.
Yeah, they're like a small
there we got
one-off
X Shortsvid said, thanks, really interesting in your posts. I just signed up with this pool. There you go. Cool.
Yeah.
Running through these. The final. Is this the final?
No, I think we have one more.
The fourth top story of the week was Bitcoin during war times. This is from an Ignacio Tato, Econ Territory, April 13th, 22 comments, 5,761 cents. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I think what he's responding to here is on this particular day, we had a pretty significant drop in the Bitcoin price. I think it's just when Iran decided to launch a bunch of drones and missiles and stuff at Israel. And then the Bitcoin price dropped because it's like World War III is starting. And yeah, so he's responding to that. Is Bitcoin for war times? Or is Bitcoin only during periods of abundance, people are willing to take the risk? And he's basically asking that question. And it looked like the market responded as if they were getting out of the asset when they thought a war might be starting.
I will say this. We were in the UK. I forget what night it was when all this started happening. But Topher told me, and I remember looking, I was like, what is going on? And then like all the TVs were up everywhere showing this. So I will say this is very Children of Men in the UK. It does feel way closer than you would like. It's kind of like, when there's a hurricane in the Gulf and you can kind of feel it, where it's just like, oh, fuck, is there another hurricane in the Gulf? It's kind of like that.
I've never felt that way about it.
Well, I did growing up. That's all you felt, because you're like in the coast and like you would just feel the hurricane. People near the coast of Texas, Third Coast is what it's called. Anyway, long story short, it feels like that. And so when there was a war, I was like, whoa, like what's going on, Topher? And we're watching the news and stuff, because it's like, dude, it's a real thing. It's closer than here. Now I'm Americanized. I'm just like, other side of the world.
Yeah, I was paying a lot of attention to it. I couldn't stop paying attention to it. I was like, what is actually going on? Because like half of my family, or more than half of my family by head count, lives in Iran. And I was like, what is going on? They're like engaging in this conflict, and what is going to happen? And
So what happened? Did they say, did you talk to them?
Well, I don't know they're all just normal people, but I didn't talk to them. I've only recently started talking to them in the last few years.
Okay.
But that is when Israel retaliated. They actually bombed, or they attacked the city in Iran where most of my family lives, which is Esfahan.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, but how does Bitcoin's price do during war? I mean, it's maybe the least of my concerns if we're entering a war. But
do you want to read the top comment?
Do I want to read it?
No,
you can read it.
Okay. So the top comments from Peter Todd. He said he's commenting on then why at the first news of a drone Bitcoin price drops. He says, I'm sure a lot of people have bought Bitcoin with leverage and debt and more so than most assets because YOLO. It makes sense to deleverage during times of uncertainty because you're better off having less risk overall. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Undisciplined says this is a great point, and I'm sure it happens. The answer is likely some version of we still very early. We are definitely early. Very, very early.
Yeah, I think someone says in here, we're like, what? Like, how many people actually understand money? I think it was David W., who's like, who understands the value proposition of Bitcoin? It's probably 1% or less of people in the world. So
I think it's by design.
What's by design?
This is my first drink, by the way.
Oh, I see.
I can't hide behind that today. But
yeah,
I think it's by design, the education stuff, not getting out there.
By design for who? But by design for
not letting people.
Who's designing
not
it?
letting the plebs buy Bitcoin.
Who's designing it though?
I don't know. Who knows, Keon? The invisible hand.
The invisible hand of like the. Are you saying the man is keeping Bitcoin down?
I don't know, man. There's something going on.
Is it the aliens? Is that all the UFO stuff?
They don't want Bitcoin. I have the UFO territory blocked still, I think. Let me check.
David, there's been some pretty good posts in there more recently because it's heating up.
Well, because like you see that. So we put this up now at the lab where you can see where all the so you see it's mostly dollars that are coming into Bitcoin. Like it's very rare you see some from other countries. And these are all the exchanges. Do you see that? Yeah,
these are all the exchanges?
Yeah.
I don't even know what this is. But how do you know it's dollars? They're just
it shows you the flag at the bottom.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are
64. Yeah. So you see how all the money's going that way now.
Oh, I see. They're seeing all the people who are buying Bitcoin. It's all the United States. A lot of people in the United States buying Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So it's just a good reminder of what's really going on.
Occasionally someone buys in Mexico.
Occasionally somebody buys in Latin America. All of it's
a lot of Asia and
Singapore
and America. Okay.
Anyways, I forget what the name of that site is, but I'll post it later. Good stuff. I guess. I don't know. Really don't have a comment. I'm so uninformed and I don't follow this stuff. So this is not my lane. So I'm going to stay in my lane. You asked me about Bitcoin stuff and I have an opinion all day, but this stuff, I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to try.
War is bad. Don't do war. Do Bitcoin.
The next top story is I closed all of my Lightning channels and I'm shutting down my node. This is from Nutel. April 12th, Bitcoin territory, 45 comments, 4,655 sats. What is this, Keon?
I don't know. So I wrote about this in last week's newsletter because it was posted on Friday. I think we missed it. So apparently Nuttall had listened to a few podcasts, one of which is with the Mutiny team on Citadel, and the other was the Phoenix Wallet CEO. And through listening to them, he came to the conclusion that he shouldn't be, maybe running his own node isn't worth it. And instead he should run he should just use a mobile wallet and connect to an LSP.
So is this really true? I need to go back and listen to this. Really? So he came up to the conclusion. They didn't tell him.
They didn't tell him that.
Okay. But that's a big difference. If somebody told you not to run a node.
I mean, I think it's unintentional on either team's part. But if they're paying attention,
I'm pretty sure the guys wouldn't tell you not to run a node. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't say that.
Well, they might say it's not a great idea. It's not very economical, and
but
actually,
they will not tell you not to run a node, though.
I don't know. I didn't listen. I didn't listen to these podcasts. I don't know, but it's a great marketing angle. If that's something they want, if they're paying attention, they might want to be like, you know what, you should just use our wallet.
That's crazy.
It's good. I don't think they do that though. I think
anyway.
Right.
So what happened? So he came back after listening to not run a node anymore. Is that what it's
he decided there's these great mobile wallets, and I'm going to use a non-custodial mobile wallet. I'm going to use a non-custodial mobile wallet rather than trying to manage channels and lose Bitcoin. Running
right now, Lightning is a privileged network. Sorry, I don't mind saying that. It's a privileged network, and if you aren't
privileged,
then you probably shouldn't be running a Lightning node. It will take time, like it'll take years, maybe. I don't know. I'm not doing this, but I imagine it'll take some time, and over time it will get easier. The tools will get easier. But right now, if you go back to when we started Keon, it's 10 times easier than where it was in 21, right?
I don't know. I think it was actually just as easy. That's the thing. I think it's. I mean,
you think it's just as easy?
I mean,
no, because there's just way more things now that you can go off and.
I don't think much is like
voltage is a whole thing now. Obviously, it's somewhat custodial-ish, right? Like,
well, they're running the service for you, but I think there are tools that make it.
Phoenix, there's Mutiny now. Like, there's.
But no, but those are on your phone. He's talking about his home node that's always on.
Well, you should be running a node, even if it's just a Bitcoin node, man.
Yeah, but I think he's still running a Bitcoin node. He's talking about his Lightning node.
Yeah. Bitcoin node.
Well,
definitely running.
I still think it's an issue for the Lightning network if
yes.
people are not running Lightning
but
nodes.
Like channels are a whole thing. But I think doesn't the Phoenix thing solve it?
Yeah, but by connecting to their LSP, which is more or less a centralized
it's an open market,
server.
man. Spin up your own LSP.
Yeah, in reality, like running a node at home has not gotten much easier in the last few years, and I think that's the biggest.
I guess you would know.
I think that's like one of the bigger problems is that it's gotten a little bit easier. There's a little bit better stuff, but no one has really been working on that. So like that is their business.
Amboss, Voltage, none of these people have solved. Lightning Loop, none of this has helped. Is what you're saying. I feel like all that stuff has helped.
Loop existed back then. I don't know.
Oh, in 21. Oh, wow.
The only thing that's been released, I think, that makes a meaningful difference to someone who wants to have a self-custodial, always online node is Phoenix D, which we talked about maybe like a week or two ago. But it basically removes you needing to manage channels and just connects to Phoenix async. Phoenix's LSP. That's what it is. Zeus is on your phone.
Okay.
It's on your phone.
I don't know, man. You guys need to figure it out. That's kind of where I'm at this point.
Well, Carr, what if this is what's needed for hyper-Bitcoinization? It's your purpose.
Yeah, hey, you let me know what you guys need on my side. Hey, we all have our lanes.
You're learning how to code. Come on.
Hey, man, let me know what you guys need help with. I think just don't listen to a podcast that tells you not to run your own node. Bitcoin node. Go run your own Bitcoin node.
They weren't saying that.
Yeah, that's just not true. I don't think they went on there to say that. Like,
no, I don't think they said that either. But I think, I think there's a lot to, I think there's the fact. If they're just stating facts, it's going to lead someone to the conclusion that.
Don't get PSYOP, bro. That's just as simple as that. Don't get PSYOP. Don't get PSYOP. I mean, be your own man. You want to run a Lightning node? Run a Lightning node. Then you'll discover how hard it is.
Well, you're PSYOPing right now.
No, but it's true though. Like the thing that surprised me the most when I came into Bitcoin was realizing just how many people LARPed. So that was the first thing that shocked the shit out of me. It was just like how many LARPers actually were out there when I first came in as a pleb who was that. And then the second over time you come to realize no, you're a Bitcoiner, you can do whatever you want. And that's yeah. So I would just say this to the stackers, if you're listening, run a damn node. It's your responsibility, man. Call me crazy. I don't know.
I don't like to prescribe anything, but definitely run a Bitcoin node.
I mean, just for the educational part.
But a Lightning node,
at the very least.
A Lightning node, I don't know if I could really recommend someone run a Lightning node at this point, knowing how many issues they might encounter trying to manage channels and stuff. Unless they're technical, and I know they can.
I think they should give it a shot. I don't see why you wouldn't give it a shot.
Oh, definitely give it a shot.
I mean, if you don't have the money for it, definitely don't do it. It's a privileged network. Don't do it. But to say you're gonna
privileged network, that's worse than anything that was said.
Hey man, everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. This is my opinion. So no one has to believe it. It's just what I believe.
I'm not saying you don't.
It's just my opinion. So people can have their own opinion. Some people think other things that I disagree with. So this is my opinion. I think over time it'll get easier. It'll become. But people are patient. Very high time preference people right now in the Bitcoin space.
Dude, damning of the Bitcoin space.
Very high time preference.
Well, it is a different, what do you say? It's the ETF, post-Bitcoin ETF.
I mean, it's true. Post-Bitcoin ETF, everything changed. No one wants this high time preference. Pre-ETF.
Really? I feel like everyone is mostly the same.
Just the shitcoiners. Just one in.
One in, but it's coming out.
Darth loves this. Darth loves when I get really toxic like this. He loves it. Good post. I'll definitely check it out. We got to zap this. And then also, Nutel, what are you doing, man? Split some of those sets up, bro. Gotta split. You gotta prism them out. Odell needs some sats from this. Tony, Ben, Paul, all of them. Prism it out, bro. The next, that's all the top 5 stories of the week. We're gonna jump into some meta. First one is CJ Wilson, AMA. Kia. Did you know he was an MLB player? I didn't know that.
No, I didn't. I mean, I know now.
That name, and I've seen him at conferences and stuff. I didn't know he was a baseball player.
Yeah. He pitched for I think he pitched for the Texas Rangers.
Oh wow.
And then I think he went to Anaheim and played for the Angels for a while. The sports fans in here ask him some really good questions, and he gives really good answers. My favorite was one of the top questions. I think it was a Gray Ruby question of him.
The Trout, that one?
Oh no, I would go up all the way to the top. All the way up.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, where he talks about. I think the question was, what do you think of all the analytics that are happening in baseball right now? And he kind of describes like the things that they use to judge players and the things that he was using as a player to get better. Sports is like a great metaphor in general for like progressing and getting better at things. And so I think there's a lot of lessons in the game that you can learn from sports players about it. Anyway, he like picked apart his own strategy or his own abilities and tried to tweak them to deceive teams and stuff. Pretty great stuff. I see a lot of more so the sports questions in here than Bitcoin questions.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I love this one. This was great. I didn't know he was an MLB player, and then but I had seen him at conference. I think it was at BitBlock Boom one year, where I caught him for like 5 seconds.
4 kids, 100+ employees. Yeah, he owns a lot of car dealerships.
Hey, everybody invests in cars. That's the right thing to do. Why would you not
invest in cars? Oh, I see what you're saying. I get it now.
I wouldn't bet against it.
You wouldn't bet against cars?
Not flying cars too.
Are you flying?
I'm just kidding. The next AMA was Ian Major.
Yeah, Ian Major. Ian works at Jolts.
Oh wow, was this AMA?
This was an AMA.
Oh, man, I need to check this out later.
Yeah, I thought this was pretty awesome, and so they're playing around with Taproot assets, and they're doing rewards, and they've gotten quite advanced and experienced point of view at it, working directly with merchants and all of that. And a lot of people are asking them relevant questions around it. I was really interested in Taproot assets and what they think of Taproot assets, and his response is mostly that he expects Taproot assets to be very useful in a loyalty program type setting where someone has like a restaurant or whatever, they have their own token that you can then spend back at the restaurant is what he said his theory is. He doesn't think it'll be that way forever, but he says, until Bitcoin is like the thing, that might be what some people prefer, because then it's a lot like what exists already.
Yeah, pretty dope, man. Need to check this out. The other meta was, oh no, this is your top post. So you're sharing this post.
Well, this is
what
one.
Is this
there are a few things that cropped up this week. One was like, let's talk about this one. But so Bitcoin Core version 27 was released, but it breaks the ability for LND nodes to broadcast transactions, I think. And so I think something relating to fee rates. Went over it at BitDevs last night. But if you're running an LND node right now and you haven't merged this, or you haven't upgraded your LND node that has the fix for this on it, don't run Bitcoin version 27.
Wait, so don't update or update? What are you saying?
So this is an incompatibility between LND and the latest version of Bitcoin Core.
So don't update.
So if you're not going to update your LND, don't update your Bitcoin Core. If you are going to update your LND, then update your.
Okay,
then you can update.
The stackers are listening at home and they're confused. Do they update or not?
I just explained it. You're confused. I just
I'm
explained
confused.
it.
Do I update or not?
You have two things. You have both an LND node and a Bitcoin Core, and it depends on. I think I would just not update for a bit.
Okay,
that's
cool.
what you want to hear.
That's all I wanted to hear. Thank you.
I would wait a little bit, and
All right,
then you're good to update. Probably.
Cool, man. So roast beef figured this out, or are they going to figure it out?
I think it was I think it appeared to be an issue. They describe it a little better here. Yeah,
This is good, man. I love this. I love this self disclosure thing. This is good, man.
yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, another bigger story that I was trying to find before this was that it looks like a lot of mining pools are sort of collaborating, and we're having like a pool of pools situation with mining pools, which makes the situation that already looks pretty centralized or almost too centralized to be cool. It turns it into something that's like really kind of concerning, where they're all using the same block template more or less, which is bad if whoever is making that block template.
I mean, the runes stuff, that's all you guys are talking about this week in the lab is all the runes stuff, the runes hysteria on both sides. It's perplexing as a pleb.
Well, runes are going to get released, or runes are going to activate. This is one thing that's really kind of cool about the whole ordinals crowd is that they really understand the human psyche better than I think a lot of people do.
Most degens do, yeah.
I know, that's what I mean. It's like, but they're going to release the runes protocol is going to activate in the halving block, and so we're all preparing.
I would just say this, and this is not related to anything, but I'm just going to share my opinion here because it needs to be said. The word degen is the new word for scammer this cycle. So if you hear that, it's big scam. There you go. Run with that what you will.
Who's using degen?
Just saying. Post Bitcoin ETF. If you hear the word degen, attribute that to scammer. This is what Carr believes. This is how Carr's looking at it. Whether you want to be psyop to believe in that as well, that's up to you. But that's how I'm looking through it. That's the lens I'm looking through. You got to be careful. This cycle is going to get crazy, man. It's going to get really crazy. And people are going to be coming for your Bitcoin. So hold your coin purse tight.
I don't know.
Who's talking like this?
I mean, you.
No one. So you know it's right.
Are. Few. Carr says few.
Few. Anyways, yeah, just beware, stackers. I don't want you to get rugged. This is my post. This is what I like looking at. This is what I like looking at and perusing. Is this post? Did you see this one I shared? I know you commented on it, but like, oh, the humanity. So this thing came out this week.
Right.
Dude, it was all over the internet. I loved it. It was great. I've never been a fan of this guy, to be just putting that out there.
The reviewer?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's just
he's really good at his job.
It's just more style than substance for me.
Oh,
which is fine. Each their own. But anyways, he like tore up this product. I'm not debating that and whether they should be tore up. But this guy posted something about how he wished he could go and do a workshop and tell people why not to be like Apple. Because a lot of these are Apple alumni that are jumping out and creating their own startups and doing those things. And anyway, long story short, Humane, this startup that kind of pivoted a couple times, has released this new product, and it's not quite ready for prime time. Instead of just getting something shipped, they spent 6 years trying to ship this AI pin, and then MK guy like tore it a new one.
They raised like over $200 million, I think, right?
Yeah. So, it's not to talk about what they did with the money and all that stuff, but it's more just kind of like we talk about it here in the thing. I was just like, you just have to take a low time preference approach. We talk about this all the time on the show. Be around other builders is another thing I think is really important. And then finally, I think the last thing this guy really says that really hits home, he talks about Ev. And Ev, Keon, because he's on Stacker News.
He's not on Stacker News. Do you think that's him?
I definitely think that's him. Because, dude, that was in the early days, dude. You were definitely blowing up at that time. I think the stay humble. It was like when
you think Ev's a Bitcoiner?
If I had to give one bit of PR advice to a startup, it's to be humble. I learned this from Twitter's early years. When users somehow tolerated weekly service outages, I think users forgave.
When did I have
Users forgave Twitter for all the mistakes because Ev is a good guy who cultivated a humble culture. Nobody publicly trash talked Facebook. Even flops like Google Buzz were regulated to a few chuckles. I mean, this is all very San Francisco based thing, but you could read something into that and think about it from a Bitcoin ecosystem too, because like there's a lot of stuff that we see behind the scenes that no one will call out because it's just not, because some people are just really good people and they make mistakes. So being humble makes a big difference. Yeah.
Oh, I think so. I think, yeah, maybe. I definitely agree with that, but that might be my bias.
What did you think of the review?
I didn't. Well, I saw a bit of the product. I meant to read through this. I commented hoping that I would be reminded by it, but I did not go through and read it. But I saw this product out there. What was interesting to me is I didn't read any of the content that other people had put out about it. I just went straight to the website and looked at their own content that they had created. And I was underwhelmed by their own demonstration of the device. Like they had the CEO of the device was using it, attempting to kind of communicate what it does. And it didn't really hit for me. And that was enough to tell me that it wasn't.
To me, the biggest problem they had, so he doesn't say this, but I think the biggest problem that they have with that device, it is painfully obvious just looking at it. It should have just been a button. It should have just been the size of a button. So they started with the wrong size dimensions from the get.
Well, I'm sure they would have preferred to make it smaller. They just...
This goes back to ship something first that just works, right? Like the Pebble. Do you remember the Pebble? So he talks about the Pebble too, and like how the Pebble was just shipping with monochrome, and it just did text messages. It was nothing else. It was just basic. And to me, that was such a hit. Pebble was such a hit, dude.
What happened to Pebble?
Yeah, I used to love my Pebble.
What happened to Pebble?
They got bought. They got bought by Fitbit.
Well, they did, but yeah. they bought because they got bought because they were dying.
No, they didn't. Dude, they integrated all their whole app ecosystem.
Dude, I'm telling. I can send you a blog post from the founder.
Send me that. They didn't die because of that. They got swallowed up. They're just saying like somebody.
They got acqui-hired, which is a common thing, or you've raised.
Still a win, bro.
Huh?
Still a win.
No, it's not. Not for a founder. Not for a founder who's making stuff to really.
Oh, you mean from
the
hardware side? Is not a win.
No, from the founder side. An acqui-hire is like break even. That's basically what an acqui-hire is. It's like pay off the investors. Maybe the founder gets a small payday, and then.
That sounds like a win, man.
Okay, well.
I mean, obviously, the bigger win is like to stick around for the long term, but.
I don't think anyone.
And Pebble's doing that sounds like a win, though. They were never going to compete with Apple.
Apple didn't exist yet.
No, they existed for 2 years prior. And then Apple came out with their watch, wiped the floor. Then Fitbit picked them up, and then Google bought Fitbit.
I'm telling you, they were a failure, and that's what I'm trying to tell from the founder's mouth. It was a failure.
Yeah, send me that.
And he describes what they did wrong.
Did this guy review it and then? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Anyways, maybe it was always gonna end that way. Hey, what's up, dude? We're almost done. We're doing a workshop today.
Yeah.
In the lab. The other one I wanted to share was the building for our AI future. Sundar sent this out today. CEO of Google basically told everybody, or sent this out yesterday, basically telling everybody to be mission focused. No more of this like holding hands in the yard. All that kind of stuff. What do you think about this, Kian?
I just don't see.
You're from California.
Sundar to me is a lot like a Tim Cook. And
he's going to get replaced at some point.
I feel like they're just out of touch a little bit with the stuff. I think in my opinion, the way Tim Cook is running Apple is it's like relatively decentralized in terms of the leadership. Like the people who were around were like directly mentored by Steve Jobs, and it seems like that philosophy still lives there. I'm not sure what is going on at Google, but their unresponsiveness to like the AI stuff.
This is pure chaos. This is what you call like I just look at this. I used to work for a corporation. It was just complete chaos. So much middle management bloat. No one's checking in on no one. The person who has the best comment in the team meeting wins. It's just so freaking fiat, bro. This is why they'll lose. Not completely, but they'll get shelved like IBM. But I'm very bearish on Google.
Yeah, I think we'll see. It's the thing about it. The thing you compare. It's easy to compare Apple and Google because they're. It seemed like their rise like coincided, but Apple appears to have a vision for the future.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
What is Google's? I don't know.
To index the world's information.
To keep doing keep our search monopoly.
Hey,
is
to
that
index
like
the world.
Is that the?
No, they need to bring back a founder.
What
That's what you do.
What is the future?
You bring back a
Google.
founder and you save the company. This is what you do. I don't know. What do I know? Anyways, they need to do something though. This is not going to work. I don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to get fired now for talking about anything outside of work? Probably not.
Oh, you're talking about like the war.
Yeah. So like they're basically
stuff.
upset because of the ties to the everything.
The everything.
That whole stuff. You got people coming in. Okay, the last one I want to share was this one, the building for an AI future. This is from or no, not that one. Satoshi Health. This is the other one I want to share with John Gordon.
Oh, cool. I know John.
So John came in, talked about a lot of the healthcare stuff. He's building Satoshi Health. Yeah.
Okay.
Check it out.
Satoshi Health, is that what's Satoshi
His
Health?
company.
Oh, is he building his own company?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I had no idea. That's amazing. What does Satoshi Health do?
He's so far right now, he's just onboarding local businesses. He actually has a lady named Veronica Max.
That's Austin Doctor, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He was telling me about that.
It's huge, dude. I think right now, I was telling him, I was like, why don't we have a summit? Because I'm sure there's a ton of I need to talk to Parker about this because we can totally get something set up where this will benefit the whole community, because we can just get a summit together of like healthcare and Bitcoiners together and like meet. There could be a whole thing we could do here, and it's just to grow this kind of get more people on board.
So you think healthcare is a special?
From what John was telling me, it sounds like this is another area that's untapped here in Austin, and then just in general. So
specifically accepting Bitcoin for medical services.
And then I was telling him on the pod. I don't want to give too much away. Go listen to the pod, but like. There's some of the stuff in 22. We interviewed a guy who was doing like a medical thing. So, hey, Lakos, I'll be set up. I'll be done here in like 5 minutes. Okay. Almost done. But yeah, we check out the pod stackers. Let's jump into. Sorry, Keon, I don't want to rush, but
all good.
We got the founder from Portal here in the lab. He's going to do a presentation right now.
I think it's the 22. Is the name of the company, but Portal is the device. We had them on for an AMA. We had Alekos on for an AMA, I think maybe a month ago or so. But it's kind of shaped like a key. It's really cool, like really cool shaped device. Really thought through. He's who you should be talking about, Satoshi Pocket, dude.
No, I haven't gotten there yet. You already know.
Okay,
right now. It's just like feeling him out.
Yeah.
And then I'll show Talking Pocket.
Yeah.
No, dude. Apparently, I was talking to him. Fascinating guy. I don't know how much he wants me to share this, but he's been building for a really long time. Knows a lot of great people, and he's going on tour. He's touring right now, so we're gonna try to give him much visibility as we can.
Dude,
pick up some developers.
Bitcoin founders are like the musicians of the
You have to, dude. You got to tour.
Got to go on the tour.
You got to tour. He's doing it the right way. Okay, cool. Top stackers still in hiding. Great Ruby, you're winning. There we go. We got the Cowboys. No one watches this segment because it's the most important segment. KR.
Everyone loves this segment.
There you go, KR.
I'm a stacker in hiding.
No, you're not. No one knows. Kepford, good for you. You're second place. Sats Cats, keep going. And then we're gonna go into the Million Sat Madness, baby. This is what everybody cares about now. No one cares about the other stuff. Million Sat Madness. Everybody's in hiding. So this is probably Darth. We got Siggy. Got Natalia, EK. And then Gray Ruby. There we go. Woo, doggy. Look at that. KR's in there. Kepford. Oh, wait. EK's not hiding. Interesting.
I'm one of the hiders.
Oh, so you're one of the hiders. There you go.
Well, I spend an embarrassing amount of money on Stacker News. And so
and then we got Blockchain Boog. Where am I at? Got Nout. Car 41. I'll take it. Cool. Wumble.
Yeah,
Right.
Drew. Look at Drew in
Oh,
there.
Pleb Poet's there too. We got Pleb Poet. The Wild Hustle.
that's
Dude,
right.
This is one guy I love following. The Wild Hustle.
He sent me a playlist.
So
the other
good,
day.
dude. He's so good, right?
Yeah.
I hope it's somebody I know. It's just such a good guy. Look
I
at
don't
Joe
think
Nakamoto.
so.
Anyways, Justin. I got Justin for Shocknet there. Amazing.
Endothermic Dev.
Cool. Keon, what are you doing this weekend? This place is getting loud.
What am I doing? There's a bunch of having parties going on. I don't know if I'm gonna go to one of those. I would like to, but I don't know. But that might be what I do in addition to my normal stuff. There's some comments we have.
Yeah, fireworks.
Happy
Everybody,
having.
Happy having, boys. We got Zapstream blowing us up. Darth Coin says, guys, please cover this great meme posted on Sacker News right now.
What is
All
it?
right, I don't know. He's sharing something. Sorry, Darth, I can't pull it up on this side. This is why you should use YouTube.
Don't bring
Don't bring
Darth.
The Darth
to
also says all wars are bankster wars. Don't fall for their trap. Wow. Patreon. We got 117 says, I knew people would block UFOs. That's fine. Oh, shit. Dude, that's just not my... Dude, it's not personal, 117. Keon literally has come to me multiple times with UFO stories, and I just like throw up in my mouth every time he does it. So it's really not you. It's Keon's fault.
Carr only believes in astrology. He doesn't
This
believe.
is Keon's fault, 117. Stackers, go sign up in the territory for UFOs. This is just my...
Someone needs to create
This is why you don't listen to me, guys.
If you want to attract Carr, make an astrology.
This is why I'm telling you not to listen to me.
territory.
Don't get psyched by cars thinking this is not what I'm trying to do. Go out. He says, my dream is to build a UFO with a giant speaker and fly it around the Pentagon blaring war pigs on repeat. Wow.
You're going to block that car.
I love that. I love that. Actually, that's pretty cool. Dude, there is a Cat Power cover of war pigs that you guys should definitely check out.
Cool.
Darth Quinn says, Car doesn't
So
know
millennial.
how hard it is to run a public routing node. Apparently I don't. I let Voltage do it. We got Darth Quinn says, having parties are boring. 117 said, LOL. There you go. Stackers.
Yeah. What are you up to this weekend, Carr?
We got to do Portal right now. So we're going to do Portal workshop. We got to go jump in the producer chair because Logan's date night, I guess. And then, and then we got Nostra Devs tomorrow. And then we'll see if a special somebody shows up who I invited to the lab. We'll see.
Who's the special somebody?
We'll see. I don't know. He's a very big Bitcoiner OG. We'll see if he shows up.
Oh, I think I know who this is.
I don't want to dox him, but
Did I see what I've seen him last night at BitTevs?
yeah, we don't, you can't dox it. Buck will kill us. You
I
can't
won't.
do that. Can't
I
do it.
won't.
Chapman rules. Chat House, was it Chat House? Chapman?
Chotham.
Chotham, whatever. Can't do it, Keon. But see if he shows up tomorrow. Stackers, you go out there, you find your psyop, and you convince people to believe that. Let me know what. Here you go. This is a good one. Stackers, let me know in the comments what you've been psyop that you actually used to believe, and now you're like, oh shit, that was total psyop. Or psyops that you're purposely trying to push forward. Let me know your psyop. I want to know what it is.
What is your
Maybe
psyop?
you'll psyop me into psyoping into your psyop. Keon, what's your psyop?
Oh no, I lost track of my train of thought.
Psyop inception.
I don't think I have a psyop. My psyop is to do what you want in life. That's my psyop. That's what I want people to do.
You're here first. Stackers, have a great weekend.
Zap.